has chosen the Celtic Cross spread for your general monthly reading, which is perfect for this setup since it looks a little bit in the past, a little bit in the future, but focuses the most on what is going on right now. It is also the only spread that I do that devotes a card and a position to the environment. So there is likely something around you this month that Spirit wants to bring your awareness and attention towards. And that is what we're going to do today. Welcome in Sagittarius. It is Celtic Cross time for your April 2024. You guys are the only sign that gets the Celtic Cross this month. Very interesting how that works out. So let's get started with your Celtic Cross. We're going to start at the beginning. You and all that you are is my King of Cups. They said not the person though, so we're using the energetic definition of my King of Cups. Very much about authority in the love corner. You guys enter here in April very firm, very astute, doing very good in the love corner, family corner, the friends corner, all that stuff. Anybody close to your heart can come in on that, and they show you guys are doing real good, holding your boundaries, leading, taking care of what needs to be taken care of, and all that kind of stuff. What crosses you, though, is a very interesting one, and this has come up for another sign as well. I forget which one. But I have my Chariot card inverted, which is about transportation or movement. Okay, this is coming in inverted, so they're showing that a lot of Saggies are dealing with some kind of transportation hang-up or some kind of weird thing. Maybe the car needs a repair or, tire gets a nail while you're driving around town or something like that. Or maybe there's a construction or an accident going on your way to work and you're very, very late for a couple days. That happens for, something like that in April. So anyway, we have transportation coming in weird, at least as the month starts. And a lot of you are just dealing with that too. So if that's on a personal level or it's something you have control over, it's very good because you know what you need to do. And if it's something you don't control, well, why sweat it, right? Now they show observers, so they show a lot of you are kind of like looking right at this. So a lot of you know what I'm talking about when I say this. And, it's also, I think, telling me to give you the alternate definition here, which the Chariot, when it's upright, is a card very much about getting things back focused on like one track mind here, one track focus. But when it's inverted, it's the opposite of that. So it's actually saying don't be too tunnel vision. Don't be too don't narrow yourself down too much here. You need to actually zoom out. You need to look at the bigger picture on things right now, and you need to observe the bigger picture, which is my Observer card. So something to consider there as we start. Let's go backwards in time. Now this is your recent past. They show more than likely a friend of yours from the past that you may have not seen in a while that you recently did. Something like that. I have my Knight inverted. It's weird that it's saying inverted. That's what makes me feel like it's been like a really long time since you saw this person. Or maybe it's because maybe it's pulling into April. So maybe this is somebody that you're going to see in April too. If it's somebody that you didn't see in the past, it's pulling through into April. So it could be one way or the other, not really sure, but they're inverted. So they've been kind of out of it for a while. So, and this could even be something that you don't want. This could be like running into an X in a grocery store or something like that. And like you're just trying to hide, something like that. Or it could be positive. It could go both ways. So that's the past position in April or the likelihood for a lot of my Saggies. Moving forward into the future, we have another person. In fact, they got people court cards all over your beginning, at least in your backwards time and your forwards time, past and future. We have people cards everywhere. Here is a king here. I have a king in your future. So I don't know what this king is for because my King of Swords can be the corporate king, like a boss in the corporate America world. So maybe they're trying to give you a clue about take a more authoritative push with work. Kind of a weird way to say it, but there's some kind of man coming in the future for a reason. So maybe if you're single, this could be a good omen for that. If you're a single woman checking this out, especially that. Also here, just a man becomes very relevant, even if it has nothing to do with love, nothing to do with work. Some guy coming up here and, we're reading for April. So when is the near future? Probably May. Maybe late April, going into May, something like that, early June. So there's going to be some relevant male energy entering into your life. Maybe even, seeing your brother or something like that, right? Very, very around that time frame. Let's go into your above position. Your above position shows the Tower card inverted. So this is something you're aware of. And the Tower card inverted is a lightened energy of the Tower, which is usually a good way that we like it because the Tower can be very intense. And a lightened energy of it, it's still very quick change, very rapid things changing very quickly for you. for a lot of Saggies at least. Of course, this is not for everybody. This is a general reading. So we have the entire Sagittarius bubble energy here that we're reading for. Spirit does a great job of affecting everybody as best they can. But at the end of the day, nothing beats a personal private reading, information that is all about you and not all of your Saggy friends. If you're looking for something like that, I offer a wide variety of services on my website, scottsagent.com, from small all the way up to full service, guys. A little something for everybody there. And actually looking ahead on your urgent reading list, you guys don't have one this month. So that's actually good. It's like Spirit saying, hey, all your information is in the Celtic Cross that you need for April. Now, as this kind of quick change comes in, don't fight it. Don't be too rigid. Kind of go with the flow as much as you can. They bring in my Chaos and Conflict card, which just is kind of like letting you know that things are just going to be put together in weird ways in April. And a lot of you probably have a good idea of what this infers or what this refers to right now. Because Chaos and Conflict is like, it's a zebra with giraffe patterns on it, and it's kind of a mix with like a giraffe with zebra stripes. So it's kind of like the pieces don't really fit, but you know what? You're making it work anyway. So that's the kind of energy that they show. April is all about. So very fast changes coming in there. Don't be hesitant again or resistant to it. It'll just make it worse. It's like trying to swim upstream. It's just going to tire yourself out, and you're going to go back down anyway. The result's going to be the same. So just kind of be in the best state of mind as you can with keep a good head, keep a good perception, and move forward. Speaking of moving forward, in your bottom position, they talk about, here, I love this position in the Celtic Cross because I'm telling you something you have no idea about now. And here they're saying that things, Saggies, are working very much behind the scenes. This is my star card, my wish fulfillment card, the card about destiny, momentum, things happening that are supposed to be happening to you, or happening to a lot of the sign of Sagittarius in this month, okay, guys? So it's less actually about your day-to-day choices and more about the bigger bullet points of your life. The big themes are happening right now. And not just that, but they're letting you know that things are going in a good direction too. I have to the sea, so they're letting me know that some of you feel like, I'm not sure it's a good direction, Scott. I don't know about that. I'm dealing with this and I'm dealing with this, and hold on, Spirit's interjecting here, and they're saying, no, actually, regardless of how you feel, even if you got your head down, the boat is moving forward, okay? The boat is following the current and the tides. That's what momentum is. It's like, you got control of the rudders, and you got control of maybe the motor, so you can kind of propel your way against these tides and currents, but only to a point. If the tide is strong enough, or the current's strong enough, or there's a storm coming through, you're going to go with where nature takes you, and that is basically the universe or God taking you here to the sea in that direction. This can also be a push for some people to get to the sea or to do something with water in April. Probably for less of the audience. It's more about the energetic definition that I just gave you. So now we go up to running up the sides. By the way, guys, your homily, which is normally attached to this reading, there is still going to be a homily. It's just not going to be attached to this reading here today. It is going to drop with the urgent readings. Even though you guys don't get one of those, you can tune back in for homily. That'll post about April 6th or 7th, right around there. This is number 7, guys. This is your advice column or section of the Celtic Cross. Warm and fuzzy energy, looking really good. I don't know if they're talking about finances or health here because the pentacles can represent both, like one or the other. It's usually not both. It's one or the other. So they talk about warm and fuzzy for health. If you guys have been doing really good with your health, that's what they talk about. Keep doing it. If not, you need to get your health to a warm and fuzzy spot. Unless they're talking about the financial version of this. In that case, they're saying, hey, if your finances are not good, we need to address that like in a pretty strong way here in April. And we'll talk about that a little bit more when we get there. So that is just the advice from Spirit, something to work on. Put the attention and energy there. Now we move up to spot number 8, which is probably what the Celtic Cross is all about. And man, they got you sun energy here. So I got to give you my Sagittarius like golden energy here, there, a little bit everywhere. Sagittarius gold, because the environment, and I don't even know what environment they're talking about here. Maybe this is your work environment that is so good for you, or your home environment that is so good for growth right now. But whatever it is good. And not just good, it is sweet. I have my Oracle Angel card next to that, milk and honey. Okay, so all things sweet, rainbow, bubblegum, all the good stuff. So I love the way your environment works or looks right now. It's looking really nice. So you guys can do really good things with that. Number 9, as we move up, we move into hopes and fears. Obviously, this is a fear, so I do need to remind you that, fears a lot of times are illusionary, especially this one being an air sign, which is swords. It's something that is not seen, visible, or can be touched necessarily. It is more up here. It is more cerebral and mental. And they talk about heartache here or heartbreak. So some of you are really fear failing or something not working out. I guess that's still failure. Failure is a man-made kind of dilemma. It is not really real in the sense of the real world things. This is the stuff that you worry about that may or may not, especially if it's future related, may or may not ever come. So why would you worry about it? Of course, easier said than done, but something to consider. You don't want to put too much energy here, because what's going to happen is you're just going to think about this heartache and dwell on it, whatever it is. And you're going to do the opposite of what you actually want to do, which is not have the heartache. You're actually going to tell the universe, heartache. That's what manifestation is. And, you're going to attract what you actually want to avoid. So that's why it's telling you, don't dwell on the fear. We need to turn this around into a hope. So instead of fearing something's going to fail or fearing something's not going to work out the way you want it to, imagine that it does. Imagine what can happen if it does instead of if it doesn't. Okay, much better paradigm to work out of. And we get into your top position here. This is going to tie into the Rune Stone very, very directly. This is a card about buying something. It's the card about purchases that are usually just not necessity. It's more of a pleasurable thing. So, I love the way it looks. It's always nice to see that, especially with a little bit of sun golden energy in your spread too. So especially with the whirlwind of change that they talked about you're going through too, it is a nice little reward, nice little payoff. And I really like the way that the month ends in that way. Now they talk about adding something. This is usually not selling something. This is addition into your life, something that wasn't there before, something like pleasurable, like a car, maybe television for certain people, or a PlayStation, or whatever it is that you really enjoy. It's a nice purchase. So for some of you here, this is the timing to do it in April. I wouldn't say, go ahead and go buy something just because this card is saying to, but if it's something that you've had on the books anyway, this is probably a really good time to take care of it. And not just that, but there's something coming in May that I'm going to address on Facebook here in a few weeks. Not right now because this is April, but there's something that I'm picking up forecasting for May that is going to affect not just Saggies, but all the signs, which means it's a pretty big draw for, all of us. It's something that is going to affect us all. And since they're talking about here financial, like make your moves here in April, it may play into what I'm going to talk about in May. That'll be on the Facebook page, not to tease that too much, but I just want to kind of give you an idea of like what's that we're going to be talking about that soon. And then also your Rune Stone was possessions. Possessions are, of course, the things that you buy, the things that you sell, the things you have in your life that you can touch, physical things. And it's also the stuff that is in your control. So that goes back, I think, to our fear section too. The things that are out of your control. They're out of your control. Don't dwell on it. It's not going to change anything because you don't control it, right? Of course, easier said than done. But possessions there, the things that are in your control, and also adding possessions, they show as a good possibility here in April. Much better in April than May. Let's at least put it that way. And that is a perfect part to kind of segment and segue into our moon cycles. I'm kind of looking on around your spread. They didn't give us really any timing. No, they didn't. So I believe that the full moon and the new moon are going to be equal as far as strength for what Saggies can use depending on what you're trying to add to your life or subtract from your life, what you got going on there. We also have the eclipse, which is a pretty big deal with the new moon, that the eclipse attaches to the new moon. That's all part of the same energy. And that's affecting the big band across the United States there. And we also have that part that's attached to the super new moon. And it's the last one of 2024 too. So great time in April to add new things into your life. It is actually the best time for the rest of the year to do that. So let's talk about that window right now. Okay guys, it is moon cycles forecast time. Let's talk about these lunar energies that are all around us anyways, so we can use it to our benefit, implement some positive change into your month. Well, the first thing you need to understand is whether these energies are coming in or going out. Just like the tides, the moon has control of that. In the same way, you can use it too. The first thing that hits chronologically this month is the new moon. You're going to see all the text information on your screen, any rare occurrences, as well as the date. Now, this is a target date for the new moon. It doesn't have to be done on this date, guys. I really like to bracket a few days before and a few days after to get a very powerful week where you can bring new things into your life and really manifest. If it is NEW, it's not there before, brand new, this is the best time to bring it into your life. Something new financially, maybe something new with work, new love, new health. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's new, this is the best time of the month to work on these things. Really help bring it in. Adversely, the full moon, the opposite energy, the energy going out, hits on this date on your screen. And of course, the same rules apply. It doesn't have to be done on this date. We're talking about a week window, a few days on each side of it here. when this energy is very strong going out, and the energy going out is the best time to get things out of your life that don't belong there or that you don't want there, something that's got control of you or hold of you that you don't want. Maybe something like a bad habit, maybe emotional baggage, a bill that's got to go. That would be something financially, maybe something with health, maybe an eating habit that's got to go. It doesn't matter if it's got to go. The full moon is your best bet to get this change to stick. If any of this has confused you, I've put together a moon cycle cheat sheet. I do it every single month. It is free. It is on the website, guys. You can check it out very easily. It is a little graphic illustration, a tool that you can use so you can kind of see these changes moving in and moving out, so you can align things in your month to it to really get them to stick, implement some great positive changes. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please remember to like and subscribe so you see the future readings. Remember that your homily will be posted in a standalone video on April 6th or 7th. I'll see you guys then. Have an excellent April. I know you will.
So I guess the fortune teller's right.